hopefully today we get to see them all. Take a look above your heads before we head on out there. You can see that cool animal spotting guide. That guide is going to help you identify some of the animals we might find. Now, we might not see every single one of those animals because of different migration habits, but we normally got some pretty good luck here at Kilimanjaro Safaris. We like to think we are the #1 safari tour company here in East Africa for a reason. And my truck, the good old Simba One's a pretty lucky truck, if I do say so myself. Good truck. So we'll probably see a lot of those animals. If you're planning on taking any photos today to make your friends jealous on social media, definitely keep your cameras ready at all times. Animals are free and roaming. They can be anywhere. If you like your cell phones, cameras, hats, sunglasses, whatever you got with you, I definitely recommend hanging on to everything tightly. Firmly grasp your things in your hands because we are off-roading out here, y'all. If you do happen to drop anything outside of the Simba One today, unfortunately, Harambe Wildlife Reserve does not permit us to stop to go get your things. We'll have to send a warrant out for it a little later on today, although your things may not come back to you in the same condition that you dropped them in. So once again, firmly grasp it. All right. Anybody have a favorite animal they want to see here today? Maybe?
Elephant.
Bueller. Hey, you got an elephant. That's my favorite animal. Looks like we got the all clear into the reserve, so my new friends, keep your cameras at the ready, keep your eyes peeled, because here we go. We're beginning our adventure today in Little Ituri Forest, a small highland rainforest at the edge of the Congo. Take a look on the left-hand side, my favorite type of antelope, the greater kudu. These are female kudus. You can tell because of their lack of horns. Male kudu have the longest horns of any antelope. They can grow 4 to almost 6 feet long. You can see a picture of a male kudu up on the spotting guide above your head. Those kudus are about 4 to 5 feet tall, can weigh up to 750 pounds, but they are surprisingly agile. A kudu can jump about 8 feet into the air from a standstill. So if you're less than 8 feet tall, those antelope could have jumped right over your head without even a running start. Pretty cool. We'll keep heading through the forest here and see what else we can find. Now down by the watering hole on the left-hand side, I'm seeing lots of knocked down trees. Could mean some big animals are passing through the woods here. Looks like a rhino. But not just any rhino. Black rhinoceros just up here on the left-hand side. Check this out. At least the better half of a black rhino. We'll pause here a sec. You can tell it's a black rhino by the fact that this one looks like she's alone. Black rhino are typically loners. Very territorial too, so we'll give her some space back there. Rhinos are these amazing creatures. Nothing else quite like them in the rest of the world. Sadly, we could lose rhinos forever. You're looking at one of less than 5,000 black rhinoceros left. Their numbers decline more and more every day because of what's called poaching. That's illegal hunting of rhinos or rhino horn for things like medicinal purposes that don't actually exist. But more on that later. On the right-hand side, these are bongos. Eastern Mountain Bongo. They're so cool, right? Take a look at their horns. They are very unique to them. Their horns lie almost flat on their heads, and that helps them easily navigate these jungles without their horns getting tangled up, which is nice when you need to make a quick exit if a leopard's around. Left-hand side, a few more bongo. Now they're usually nocturnal, so sighting during the daytime is pretty rare. They're so rarely and infrequently seen by us humans, bongos have gotten the nickname the ghosts of the forest. Not too spooky though, they're pretty cute. Alright, I'd say we're off to a pretty good start to this adventure so far. We're gonna keep making our way through the woods and on down to Safi River Valley, just up ahead. Coming up on Safi River now, you can see it on the right-hand side. Water level's looking pretty low today. Might make it good for some animal viewing. Make sure you're looking deep into that water to spot animals. It looks like pink-backed pelican along the riverbanks, though. Now, those are the large white pelicans. Now, you might wonder why they get that name. Ooh. Now, they get that name during mating season. Their backs are a little pink. But look down there in that water. That's a hippo. And on your left-hand side, there's a few more. Looks like we stumbled right into a hippo bloom. We'll definitely keep our distance. These hippos are also very dangerous, very territorial. But look at that little chicken nugget over there. That's our baby hippo. Left-hand side. Resting right on mom. I know, they're so cute. These hippos are doing my favorite thing about them. Their favorite, I think the coolest thing that they do is they can fall asleep under the water. And they do that because of a natural reflex. It brings them up for air about every 8 minutes or so, and then back down one more time without even waking up. Wish I could do that. Some more pink-backed pelican on the left-hand side as well. Now you might have noticed hippos don't technically swim. What they'll do is sink down and then run along the riverbed. They're very fast. It speeds of up to 25 miles an hour, like a big underwater horse. In fact, the name hippopotamus means river horse in Greek, but they're not related to horses at all. Their closest relatives are whales. Ooh, left-hand side, Nile crocodile down along the riverbank. That's a lot of crocodiles. Make sure you're staying seated back there, friends. Nile crocs have one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom. It's enough to snap bone with one shred. The favorite thing about Nile crocodile, though, is that despite their ferocious reputation, they are very good parents. What? Yeah. Strange, right? Both mother and father Nile crocodiles will roll their eggs around in their mouths to help their young hatch, give them the best start in life. And then a mama croc has a big pouch in her mouth, and she'll use that to carry her newborns around with her, protecting them until they're big enough to go off on their own, usually after at least a year. Kind of funny, right? You wouldn't think of crocodiles being good parents, but they are. I think it makes them seem a little bit less like a mindless killing machine, maybe more like a caring parent. On the left-hand side, look just through the trees, y'all, we're about to head out of this forest and down into a totally different environment ahead. Speaking of different, you can catch a glimpse at a baobab tree on your right-hand side. It's a cool word, right? Baobab. But you might know this tree by its more famous name, the upside-down tree. Looks like somebody walked over here and planted that tree right upside down, but it is right side up. These upside down trees, though, go leafless for most of the year, about 9 months. It helps them to store up lots of water for what's called the dry season, when it's not raining very often here in East Africa. Water is like liquid gold in the savannah. Keep an eye out for more of those trees and check out this view. It's pretty, right? Welcome to the open savannah grasslands of the Serengeti ecosystem. This, y'all, is the wild Africa we're working so hard to protect here in Harambe. African savannas are home to some of this continent's most famous creatures, most recognizable animals, including these big, tall ones down on your right-hand side. If you have good eyes, you can see that little girl right over there. Giraffes. Check it out. There's a little baby giraffe hiding right behind that big log. We'll see if we can get a pretty good view of her. He's kind of hiding back there.
Yeah, giraffes. Those are cool. You fed one of those, didn't you?
But not just any giraffe. Yeah. These are Maasai giraffe, named after the Maasai tribe of East Africa. There's not just one type of giraffe, 9 different subspecies of them, all across the continent. I'll tell you how you can tell the difference in just a sec. On the right-hand side, now this is cool. Juxtaposed together are one of the largest antelope in the world with one of the smallest. And the larger antelope you're seeing on the right side are called Patterson's eland. And the tiny little guys and gals, they are a springbok. I love springbok. They're one of my favorite animals. They're tiny, but they're super impressive. You're looking at the 3rd fastest land animal on Earth. Those little springboks can book at speeds around 60 miles an hour. That's enough to even give a cheetah a run for its money, or almost keep up with you on the highway. Let's see if we can loop around here. I think we'll get another good view of them on the other side. Hey. African wild dogs. Check this out. Left-hand side, there's a few of them along the left side of that hill by the tree line. But it looks like there's a few more up here by that big rock formation on the left-hand side. Check them out. They're also known, or nicknamed, the painted dog because of the beautiful coats. Looks like somebody splashed paint all over the far back towards the rock formation back there.
It's all season.
Oh, I can see
Once again,
it.
African wild dogs. Now, they're a rare sight these days. Less than 7,000 of them remain in
Yeah, let's
Africa.
take Casey.
They're losing their habitats more and more every day. It's a shame. They're so cool. On the left-hand side, sable antelope, the emblem of Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Very territorial, powerful animal species. When given the choice of fight or flight, a sable antelope will almost always definitely choose fight, even against lions. One of the only animals that will straight up try to fight lions. Very brave. You might wonder what these big, weird-looking rocks are all around us. Well, I will tell you, they're not just big, weird-looking rocks. These are termite mounds. African termites will build these mounds with a combination of soil, saliva, and feces. Poop. Everybody say ew. But what's pretty cool is when they're fully constructed, those mounds will be as hard as rock or concrete, like a big underground fortress. Once again, Patterson's eland, springbok on your right-hand side. We're also gonna go check out this big guy, this big fella coming up on the left-hand side. That's a male Patterson's eland. You're gonna get a pretty good idea of how big they can get. Oh, that's a really good view of that little baby giraffe over there. I'll pause one more time. I want to get a photo of her. See if we can get a good view for everybody. Keep looking at that right-hand side. Now, she might look tiny next to her family. That little giraffe, I bet you, is close to 6 feet tall.
See it right there? Yeah.
So if you're ever wondering what you look like next to a giraffe, you can get a good appreciation for how big they are. Speaking of big, on the left-hand side, this is a bull Patterson's eland. Now, you're about 6 feet off the ground right now, and that's about how tall he is at the shoulder. This big guy also weighs about 2,000 pounds. But despite this, he too can jump around 6 feet into the air from a standstill. Pretty crazy. That's as much as the female giraffe, but he can still leap and jump. Pretty amazing.
Most of the animals are accessible.
Zebras.
I hope so, but I don't think we will. Because zebras.
Let's see if we can find any more giraffes. Anyway, coming up here. Ooh, we're gonna get real close. Get those cameras ready. And this little guy's a little close to us, so I can't stop here, but I'll go very slowly. Giraffes are very curious. We don't want him to stick his head into this truck and give you a kiss.
Yeah, that's right.
They do have those long tongues. But also on your right-hand side, through the palm trees, you can see those big horns. They belong to a herd of Ankoli cattle.
Look at
That little fellow isn't even fully grown yet.
more poop. You just want to look at the poop.
Cool, right? They're a lot bigger up close. There's a few more giraffes coming up here on the left-hand side. You can see them using that tongue they have. Look up here on the left-hand side. Giraffe tongues are anywhere from 16 to 20 inches long. For any adults on board, if you hold your whole arm out right now, it's about the length of your
Yeah,
arm.
look how big he is.
Oh my
The
god.
big tongue. Giraffes also eat for most of the day. As you can see, they typically eat for around 20 hours out of the day. Sounds pretty good, right?
So 4 hours.
Now you might think, all right, they probably spend like 4 hours sleeping, but no, giraffes only need to sleep for around 30 minutes. That's even crazier. We'll leave them to their eating. We're heading on up to Monkey Point, but down here on the left and the right, look at all these big trees knocked down. They were up just a day ago. You might wonder what animal caused all this destruction. It was definitely my favorite animals in the world, elephants, the true landscapers of the African savannah. We're coming up on one right now on your right-hand side. So if you like monkeys, left-hand side, mandrills, the largest monkeys on Earth. There's a female right up there on that big rock in the center of the hill. But let's take a good look at this little guy right here.
Wow, look at him.
That's a young, what I would say, young bull African elephant.
Look at him.
Nice little guy. Probably just old enough to leave his family herd behind. Males are typically more
Oh, he
solitary
can
than
go in the water
females.
if he wants to cool off, like you go in the water. That's a nice pool,
You
huh?
can see him using that trunk for good use, so I'm helping him to eat. Elephant noses are a lot more useful than our noses. It almost works like a hand. African elephants, like that little guy, have 2 finger-like features on the end of the trunk that they can use to grab stuff, and they can be very precise. An elephant can grab something as small as a dime with that trunk. They can also be very powerful. An elephant can uproot a tree out of the ground almost as easily as you can pull a weed out of the dirt. There's about 40,000 different muscles in the elephant trunk alone. And y'all, that is more muscles than in the entire human body. We only have 650 muscles in our bodies. Pretty crazy. Those young male elephants, though, will never stray too far from the female herds. We'll go see if we can find any. I know a good place to look would be down at the clay pits. We'll go check down there. Sometimes we can find elephants down by the... Ah! Ah! Everybody lean to the right! Lean to the right! Lean to the right! Woo! Everybody okay back there? Just making sure you're paying attention. Nobody fell out, right? Cool. Great, fantastic, wonderful. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. It's in the past. Hakuna Matata. We're going to head down a bit like this. Definitely let the ward know about that one. Hey, check this out. Left and the right-hand sides. Look at all these big tusk marks. This was from a big herd of elephants, looks like. Taking up all that red clay, and they didn't get too far. Left-hand side, just there in the clearing. I see some elephants. Let's go get a little bit closer.
Look at those big elephants.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a female herd. We'll give them their space. Elephant mamas can be very protective. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a better view on the other side of these trees.
That's right.
Oh, I love elephants.
I love elephants. They're my favorite animals. They're these iconic African creatures. They're very important to their whole environment. Take a look around you. This giant savanna was sculpted by the elephants that are found here. Whenever they're around, it means a healthy ecosystem. The elephants face many dangers in Africa. One big one is from poaching. It is estimated around 96 elephants are poached every day. Some are in Africa by ivory poachers trying to get their tusks to sell illegally on the black market. But habitat loss is another big problem for them. With ever-growing human populations, elephant populations, and habitat is shrinking and shrinking. Sometimes elephants get in trouble for going into farmland and eating farmers' crops. Now, they don't understand the crops belong to somebody, but one elephant can destroy a whole crop field, and that could destroy a whole farmer's livelihood. So from studying elephants,
Is anybody swimming?
the Disney Conservation Fund, helping save the Elephants Conservation Group, found out a possible solution. I'll tell you about it in just a second. We're going to loop around here. Down here on the left-hand side, Greater Flamingo in the water.
Oh, flamingo!
Another little elephant from this earth just around the bend. From studying those elephants, the Disney Conservation Fund and Save the Elephants found out elephants are afraid of bees. They don't like bees. They have very sensitive skin, and I mean, who likes bee stings? Now, from using this information, farmers in Kenya are being helped by both conservation groups to build these fences around their farms lined with beehives. The elephants will either knock into the beehives, stir up the bees, and stay away, or they'll even hear the bees and communicate with other elephants in the area that there's bees nearby, and they'll stay away. So far, since it's been initiated, since 2010, it has about an 80 to 90% success rate, keeping elephants away, and that way, the elephants are protected, and so is the farmers' crops. The ultimate goal of conservation, my friends, is to make a balance between the needs of us humans and the wild creatures we share this planet with, especially cool ones like elephants. I hope you want to help me save elephants today. You can do that by supporting conservation groups like the Disney Conservation Fund. Another great way to help out
Got some more stuff. Yeah.
this animal right over here on the left-hand side is by supporting those conservation groups, rhinos. But not just any rhino. These are white rhinoceros, the largest and most social rhino species in the world. Looks like they've been doing some good mud bathing. Take a look on your right-hand side.
I don't know. We ain't got there yet. We're looking at the rhinos. Oh, that's it. Ah, look at those guys. Oh, there's one right here.
Beautiful animal, right? Rhinos love rolling around in the mud. It's like putting on sunscreen. Rhinos have very sensitive skin. It's very thick, about an inch thick, but it's very sensitive, and they are susceptible to getting burnt by those harmful UV rays of the sun. To help combat that, rhinos will roll around in all that mud, and it works like a pretty good sunblock. It also helps to keep them cool, to keep the bugs
That
out.
was cool.
These white rhino are, like I said, the largest rhino species, weighing anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. Now, you might think they're very slow, but they are quick. A rhino can charge at speeds of around 35 miles an hour, galloping with all 4 feet off of the ground like a zebra. That's why we call a group of rhinos a crash. I love white rhinos, they're so cool. Now, luckily for them, they were a great conservation success story. With the help of conservation groups, the white rhino populations down in South Africa were able to rebound. There's around 20,000 southern white rhinos, like the ones you just saw, left in Africa, but sadly their numbers are once again on the decline, and that is because of an increase in poaching effort for rhino horn. In certain cultures, it is falsely believed that rhino horn contains a medicinal property to it. You can eat it, consume it, and it'll cure disease possibly, like cancer, or even just a common cold. But rhino horn is just made out of keratin. It's not even a true horn. Anybody know what keratin is?
Hair.
Yeah, it's the same stuff your hair and your fingernails are made out of. Just like both of those things, a rhino horn actually grows. It grows about 6 inches a year. But also, like eating your hair and eating your fingernails, eating rhino horn does nothing for you. No medicinal property, no scientific value. And that's why it's so important we help protect rhinos by raising awareness about this fact, or even supporting conservation groups, or just never purchasing anything made of rhino horn. It's always important to be careful of what you purchase, even when you're traveling. Be mindful of what you purchase, and always choose wildlife-friendly products. And that way we can keep enjoying animals like rhinos for generations to come. It is a really important animal, and such an iconic creature. We learned about rhinos when we were little.